I'm here with Lisa Beres, author of Just Green It, and she's going to tell us about some changes you can make in your house that'll make a very big difference. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Kathy.
Okay, a lot of people make the green claim. It's the, it's the thing, the hip thing to do.
Exactly.
How can we tell if it truly is or isn't?
Great question. 1 out of 3 consumers is confused about green claims and marketing terms.
Right.
And rightfully so, because the words green, non-toxic, organic, and cruelty-free, they can be meaningless without third-party certification. Now, spring is in the air, and so is poor indoor air quality.
Right.
But a great way to improve the air throughout your home is to upgrade the filter in your heating and cooling system.
So many people do not do this.
So many people don't do it.
Have you ever seen them? You take them out there, and they are black, and they are disgusting.
They should look like this.
How often should we change them?
You should change them according to the EPA once every 3 months.
I've thought about whether or not my home was healthy because I've had asthma for a long time, and if I walk in the house, my asthma almost always gets worse.
The boys haven't officially been diagnosed with asthma, but in the past they've had the RSV virus.
We called in the experts, Lisa and Ron Beres, who educate consumers about dangerous toxins in the home.
A double bed about this size can actually hold up to 2 million dust mites. This bed really should have a barrier cover. This is a HEPA air purifier. Most people just don't know that the air inside their home is more polluted than the outdoor air. Manufacturers aren't required to label the ingredients in their cleaning products. There's not a lot of long-term testing on these chemicals. A lot of them are carcinogenic. Formaldehyde.
That's what we put the frogs into, we dissect the
That's right. That smell we all know.
Yes.
But at concentrations in your house, you don't detect it by the nose because the concentrations are lower. But it's in everything from your carpeting to your paints, your draperies, your sheets.
A lead test was done. 65% of homes have gas leaks, and this home is no different. Then check the house for water leaks and mold. He then tested for something you've probably never heard of, the body voltage, or the amount of electricity on the children when they're sleeping.
We're actually seeing 1 volt AC on the child's body.
How healthy or unhealthy is their home?
Their house is not healthy. The reasons are basically this, and this is typical of most homes. We found contaminants in the water linked to cancers and heart problems and more diseases. We found high body voltage in the nursery because of electrical wiring in the wall near the cribs. We found a gas leak in the water heater that they didn't even know was there. And most importantly, we found poor indoor air quality from mold that was found in the carpet, as well as a very serious dust mite problem that they didn't know they had.
The Doctors is all new. How safe is your home?
I didn't even realize that this was a potential hazard, and it's right on the opposite side of the wall from our bedroom.
Hidden dangers.
60 spores in the sample, that would be considered toxic. You had 13,560 spores.
Then plastic containers. Some are safe, some are toxic. What the number on the bottom can tell you. Is your family protected? The Doctors.
We're talking today about home health risks. The Daniels family has been worried about their house ever since they all started coming down with these really strange symptoms. I want you to look at this.
It was going to be our dream home, and it's turned into a nightmare. Shortly after we moved in, I started noticing everybody being sick all the time. Chronic colds, chronic sinus infections, chronic ear infections, asthma, headaches, extreme fatigue. I started putting 2 and 2 together. When my neighbor said something to me one day, you know, God, you guys are always sick. One of you is always sick. It was a big light bulb moment. Maybe there is something in the house that's making us sick. I can't explain why we have these symptoms. When my mom comes to visit, she ends up getting sick. As far as my husband goes, he's never had allergies in his life until he's moved into this house. My kids are very often sick. My youngest one, he's had hearing loss from so many ear infections. Is it coming through the vent? Is it coming through the walls? I'm afraid of what's lurking around here that we're breathing in or ingesting. It makes me feel awful. I feel guilty as a parent. We're living in a house that may be toxic to everybody. This is not normal. I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of my family being sick. I need an answer.
We're here with Ashley and Matt, and you have a little baby Nathan is in the house now. And Lisa, you're going to show us how to test some of his toys for lead.
Exactly. One of the biggest nightmares a parent can have is to find out that their child's favorite toy is contaminated with lead.
The other thing we worried about in the Daniels home is what was their air quality like? What were the mold levels? I want you to look at this.
All right, Ron, we need to check the filter for your heating and cooling system.
I've been changing it about 4 years.
4 years? You should be changing this once every 3 months at the start of every season. Look at that.
Oh, that's ugly.
And it's spreading mold and bacteria and viruses throughout your air. Now, I recommend for you guys an ultra allergen filter, a 1500 rating. This is actually going to help you guys breathe better. It's going to help the children with asthma, and it's also going to reduce your electric bill. And I know everyone in the family has breathing problems.
Everybody.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a sample of the air in this room. Okay. And what we're going to test for is mold, pollen, carcinogenic fibers, which is cancer-causing fibers like asbestos or fiberglass. I'm using your vacuum just as a section.
Okay.
And I'm going to be collecting a sample.
So Lisa, what did we find in the air?
Well, as you saw from the tape, they hadn't changed their furnace filter in 4 years. Technically, they should have changed that filter 16 times in that time period. And this is a really major thing that viewers at home can do, today. Just start changing that filter. So what we did is we took a sample and we sent this to the lab to get analyzed. And we found, with the allergen perspective, things came in pretty normal as well as major chemicals. But we found a very serious dust problem. And this is a concern because of the kids' asthma. So in your family room that we tested, there were 324,300 particles per cubic meter. Just to paint a picture for you, an average home accumulates 40 pounds of dust a year. Your home was 60% higher than that. So this is a real concern.
Especially with respiratory problems, potential asthmatics in the family.